Hello, welcome back to Ratropolis. I mentioned in the Leader Plus episode, I'm going to move one map forward on this one so that we are not playing the same maps with the same characters every time. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but I'm still gonna do it just because, why not? More or less. May as well keep it fresh, you feel me? How you doing today? How is it going? It should be Monday afternoon for you at this point. It is, of course, a Sunday evening for me still. Not quite back to back. I took a little break between the last episode and this one. Just like watched a YouTube video, finished up a drink, and like, alright, let's get back to it. Like, I guess it's not that big of a break. It was like, what, 20 minutes maybe? But you know, regardless. Hopefully you're doing well today, holding up, and the such. I'm good, like I said, 100 subs, feeling pretty good about that. Kinda taking it easy. I don't know if I mentioned in the last episode, I played Stone Shard on stream last night for the first time, and that game was pretty fun. Of course, game's really good. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. I'm kinda looking ahead right now for YouTube. I'm ready to not necessarily like move on, but I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next on the YouTube front. I'm leaning towards Iridus. I still need to play a little bit of it, and then maybe we'll play through a few runs of that game or something like that. I don't know. But when I figure it out, I'm sure I'll let you know. I basically, like, pretty much all of my crossbow. All of my what's going on the channel conversation comes through these videos, to be fair. Like, every time that I'm like, yeah, am I gonna do something different? I don't know, I'm gonna talk about it on Ratropolis though. This is just kind of where I talk about that stuff, which is fine. I'll take the houses here. It's good. And we'll decide from there. I don't know, I'm feeling kind of a I'm gonna take money here, as crazy as it may seem. It's gonna give me the ability to play out everything there a little bit faster. Won't have to wait at all. And also, like, those other two choices didn't seem very good. I'm in a position where I'm just like, yeah, I kind of just want to do something new, but I don't know what yet. I'll work it out. Not anything you have to worry about. The stream though is going good of Stone Shard. Game's fun. I don't expect to play it for too long, so if you want to catch Stone Shard live, you'll probably want to tune in soon. I imagine I'm going to play it for like maybe like 3 or 4 more days at the most. Considering, so from when you're hearing this, probably wasn't Guardian. We are on the desert. Is Guardian that good? He's fine. From when you're hearing this, which is Monday, it'll probably be like 2 more days, maybe 3 at most of Stone Shard. Just like something real quick that I wanted to play through. Like a little bridge while I work towards whatever the hell I'm going to play for a little bit longer. It's weird to change games a lot for me. I usually just pick something and then play it for like a few weeks. FTL, Slay the Spire, They Are Billions, Darkest Dungeon. So trying out something a little different and just doing like a, yeah, we're gonna play this for like, you know, 3 days maybe. Different. Usually, if I want to try something like that out, I'd put it on YouTube actually. Where it's like, yeah, I kind of want to make this. Do I really want to make it? I don't know. Let's put it on YouTube. It's a lot less committal if I'm putting something up on the tube. But anyway, other than that, what's new? You know, not much. Here I am, existing manually. Unfortunately, haven't figured out how to switch it into automatic. But I don't know. Like, what have I been doing in the last few days? What have I been doing in the last few weeks? Oh, you know, just kind of like sitting here going, yeah, I'm going to do a lot of coding. And now that I'm having the moment of like, wait, I think I might not want to do JavaScript. I'm not like, oh man, I wasted all this time or anything like that. I don't have a feeling like that. It's more of just like, wow, yeah. So I've been doing JavaScript for like a week now, doing it pretty with a decent amount of frequency, and I started to think forward to like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna like build a demo site. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna build a site in JavaScript to show what I can do. And then I thought about that for a second, and I went, God, that sounds awful. That just sounds miserable. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna change it up, but I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Oh, accountant. Yeah, that guy. This is probably the strongest advisor in the game, in my opinion. Accountant is really good. But yeah, that's basically all I've been doing. I'm registered for college in the fall. I'm thinking about maybe looking for some, like, I might try to get a job doing like Grubhub or something like that, just for, you know, save up a little extra money in advance of going back to college. But I'm mostly just waiting to see how much financial aid they're gonna offer me and if I can get any scholarships. But you know, I gotta wait for the school to offer it to me, and that's a whole like, oh yeah, I'm sure the school's gonna prioritize. They're busy, you know, they got all of this fucking pandemic bullshit to go through as well. We're all affected by it, so you gotta be patient. And I'm hoping that, you know, if I miss a deadline or something like that, it's like, yeah, well, you know, we'll be lenient because we're also a mess. Everything's a mess. Let's be honest. But that's not what you're here to hear. Maybe it is, I don't know. Is immigration worth buying? Like, yeah, right? This is 10 population at the price of some money, but getting 10 population for money is good. Trade a easily accessible resource for a not easily accessible resource, and then you just have to remove it, which is fine. And then the rest of this is But no, that's what I've been up to lately. Hopefully you've been up to something cool, getting to do something fun with your free time, or maybe you did not get gifted any free time because of this pandemic. Perhaps you are stuck doing an essential job, in which case I hope that that's going well and you're staying safe. Whatever's going on, I hope you're doing, hope you're not sick with the virus. You know? Crazy new ground that we're breaking here. I hope that you are not sick with the virus right now. And I hope, even if you're not listening to this, I hope that that's the case. But anyway. Now it's just like, it's like, so boring. I called my grandmother and talked to her to be like, hey, how you doing during this pandemic? And she's like, oh my god, I'm so bored. And I never really thought about it from this aspect, but like, I'm very fortunate that I can more or less do everything that I want to do through this computer that I have here. I didn't even think about it, but like, she's just sitting in her house like, yeah, I'm so sick of watching TV. And she doesn't really know how to work like Netflix or anything like that. She doesn't have a computer. She's read all of the books that she has. She's just basically sitting there all day going, man, this fucking sucks. Which has got to be terrible. Like, I would be losing my mind if I didn't have anything to do, right? I'd be losing it. It would be awful. I had that moment of like, man, that sucks. That's just awful. So, you know. Anyway, moving on from pandemic talk. Who really wants to talk about the pandemic at this point? I mean, it's like, in these videos I like to talk about what's going on, and unfortunately that's all that's going on, dude. That's it. That's the world right now. I'm sorry to say it, but it is what it is. We'll get through it though, I imagine. And hey, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or something else, but I'm feeling like the most motivated to do things productive I think I've ever felt, which is good, at least. I'll take breed here. I'm so like underwhelmed by barracks. However, I should take it because we're against fire arrows and we have midline, we have crossbows. If we pick up druid, this round's like for sure. I think crossbow can do it as well. And take the 2 restaurants and the breed as well. And take the wall too. Do we even take research here? I'm gonna try taking research here. Now we're done on walls. We're as walled up as we're gonna be. We're not in a bad spot here. I love being the merchant. You know, I'm definitely favorite character. Goes to merchant. I was taking a look today, or not today, but recently, because if you don't follow Ratropolis on Twitter, they post the high scores for the week every week, which I think is kind of cool. And I'm mostly just interested to see some of my better runs. I'm like, yeah, this is probably gonna be a pretty high score on the leaderboard, right? And I go look and I'm like, yeah, it's like 50th. But first of all, it's like, hell yeah, it's like, that means that there's a decent number of people playing this game weekly, first of all, which is a good sign in my opinion. And second of all, I wonder what you do to really cap out the score. So here's what I think, right? I think to cap out the score, if you really want to, the only thing that I'm not sure about when it comes to farming scores, I'm not sure about the time. Like, I don't know if you want to win the game faster or slower for the time score. So I'm gonna try and keep my eyes on that. If you happen to know, feel free. I've never really looked at the score too deeply, but one thing that I know is you get a higher score for every building you built, which means that one of the best things to do to up your score is to make sure that you're taking and filling out all the spaces. Now, I don't think it's per building, I think it's per space you take up. I believe, because I'm pretty sure I had a run where I built all the way to the edges with slums on normal and had a similar amount of score to when I had built to the edges, just like taking buildings, right? I don't necessarily think that it matters in that regard. What got upgraded? I saw the guards and... oh, nothing else because it hasn't finished yet. Right. No big deal. Thought I might have missed one, which would have sucked. So I think it's just like you get points per tile you take up, and you also get points for score, but I don't know which direction of score you want to go. Or not score, for time. I just don't know which way you want to go with time. Do you want the runs to be faster or longer? I would imagine, like in my mind, I'm kind of like, oh, you probably want to be longer, right? Because longer runs mean you lived longer. And I can see that being the reasoning. It does 12 damage, buddy. Okay, because he's going to really struggle to go through our Guardian here. He'll get through him eventually, but by then we'll be to another Guardian, or the boss will just be dead. And it's no big. High Priestess is fine. But I'm gonna probably... well, here's the thing. Upgrades are kind of shaky. Because I have research, right? Eventually they'll all be upgraded anyway. Take High Priestess. I will never in my life disrespect High Priestess again, ever since I had that one run with her. We're gonna throw the barracks on the crossbow. The main reason I took barracks is to give our crossbows better survivability in fire. That's like 4 more ticks in fire, which is a lot. And we're just gonna take it easy here. Yeah, I'm not too great about the score yet, but I've seen that they've been posting those, so I'm thinking about it a little bit. Like, what is the best way to go about getting a high score in this game? I wonder. Maybe that would be interesting to kind of explore in a little more detail. I'd probably explore it on normal, just because on normal you can fuck around a lot easier. And then you take whatever you find that breaks it on hard. So if it's more time, you just take as much. Like, so if surviving for longer is better for your score, because it caps out at 100 points. I think that when it says time, I think it might just be waves. Banneret actually, I feel kind of mediocre on here overall. I think I'm going to skip all of this. I know, shocking, right? I'm going to skip Banneret though. We're going to remove Otter. I don't really know why I'm making money right now. I think it's because I have labors and like 3 restaurants, right? Let's see. Yeah, we have 3 restaurants, we have labors. That's why we're making money. It's the research and the breed and the restaurant. Remember when I used to think the restaurant was the worst building in the game? I was hit with the wisdom that it's actually pretty good when you get right down to it. And I would say that it is pretty good. It's... worst building in the game was, of course, a mistake, but a lot of my playstyle... I mean, when I played before, it was terrible, right? It was worthless, but now I'm holding on to these grains for much longer because it is better to do this. Better to do so. Emergency here. We have to upgrade it, but that's not a big deal. You could do it. The question is, like, why? I guess I will. I haven't done one. Usually I don't go emergency just because it's expensive, but we can do it. It'll either take the upgrade from research or you know, we're probably closing in on... I'm not going to remove research because it'll be good to have. Breed upgrade is good. Emergency's fine right now. When research gets everything upgraded, we can maybe consider removing it, but I probably will just hold on to it since I'll have a hand size of 9 through emergency. And that's probably fine. Crossbow, he's holding it down here, as is always the case with crossbow. Crossbow early like this, plus guardian, like it's a solid setup. Not my most common take because it's not a bad one, it's just not one that comes up very often, right? How often do you really get to combo these two together? The answer is not too often, not as often as I'd like to. Territory expansion, we're like at the end of. I'm just gonna target an upgrade on emergency here, and we're gonna go ahead and do this. We have enough money stockpiled up. I think we'll be fine to emergency forever. Now, emergency is Emergency is an interesting card when it comes to doing an infinite with. Welcome back to I Explain Another Infinite to you. In this episode, we're going to cover emergency, which does work with some caveats. So let's begin. First, I'm going to test it out to be sure it is how I believe it is. I believe the way emergency works is in the circumstance where you play it first. So that's weird. Oh, no, okay, that's right. The way, I remember how this works now. The way emergency works is that it calculates the number of cards to draw when you play it. So if you play emergency first and then play more cards. So you can see I drew 2 there. I have a hand size of 8, you play emergency, it tries to draw you to 9, it tries to draw you 2 cards. Okay. So I play it here, and you may think it's, because it reads draw until you have 9, but what it actually does is it just draws 2. Or I think it'll draw 3 because it won't count itself if I had a 3rd card. Right? Yeah. It just draws, instead of draw cards until you have 9 in hand, it is better read as draw X cards, like where X is the number of cards you have, or 9 minus the number of cards in hand, right? That's another way to look at it. Essentially, it just means that you have to, all this is saying is that you have to make sure that you play emergency last when you're doing an infinite with this card, which is fine because there's no timing, you don't have to do anything fancy with it like any of the other, it's similar to steel, right? The only other thing to keep in mind is that you will need to watch your, like if you ever mess up and don't redraw emergency, which will only happen if you like go up to 10 cards. You just have to watch because you need to be sure you can pay. Which, you know, we can pretty easily. We have a lot of money stocked up through our hero ability. I've taken 2 levels in the hero ability and it's starting to generate us some good money. And we're just gonna go ahead and breed. Call this one emergency breeding. Ever have an emergency so bad you just gotta start breeding out enough people to armor up. This is like, you know, almost a disturbing picture of just like breeding out 2 kids and then sending them on the front lines, but hey, what am I, the ethics police? I am, surprise. It's me, the ethics police. I'm here to tell you that this is questionably ethical. Make sure that you make your newborn children into guards so that they have a better chance of survival. Don't turn them into guardians, that's cruel and unusual. I'll take tax office, that's a lot of money. I'm gonna take that as well. So now I can miss, like we can definitely whiff here and that's possible and is fine. Right, if I miss we can pay to redraw, it's no big deal. Oh yeah, in fact we will definitely miss because I bought 2 there. But it's no real concern. I'm not afraid of this boss, is what I'm saying. Now if I wanted to be, oh yeah, I gotta pay. I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'll wait 67 seconds. I'll do that. We have crossbows to deal with these guys stacking up. The big killer here is we do not do enough damage to survive fire arrows right now. The upside is that we have an infinite, so we can put out as many units as I need to. However, that's often not good enough even against fire. Like, even with as many units as I want, we still may find ourselves dying. We will see. Theoretically, I could just play out a bunch of crossbows. I wonder about that. Okay, the big pro of let me run you through the pros and cons of the emergency combo here. I'm gonna go and we're just gonna take the floods even. So the big pro of doing the emergencies is that am I gonna take nothing here? I am. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. Is saving 25 gold on an upgrade. But the big pro of emergency is that you can't mess up this infinite. Like, you can't do anything wrong. Like, the only thing you can do is take up to 10 cards, and then then you can see yourself in trouble. But for the most part, it's pretty easy. A little math here. These enemies have like 240 on the health bar. My crossbows are gonna do. So we need about. They're gonna have 240. Let's say 300 just to be safe. We want about 15 crossbows ready to go. But we're gonna need more than that, really, because crossbow, they're gonna need time to reload. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try just like stat. Can you win with just like a ton of crossbows? I often try to diversify, right? But what happens if I just play out as many crossbows as I possibly can? That's the question I pose to you now. What happens in this circumstance? If I just sit here and play nothing but crossbows, will I win? I am uncertain. I'm not gonna play nothing but crossbows. We're gonna have a few guardians ready to go. The big problem, of course, is the similar problem to when we did this with treasure hunters, where you just run, like you get wiped, right? And it takes a very long time to play this many crossbows out. You can see. I might not even be able to play enough crossbows out. It's fine. I'll draw 3. But we're gonna give it a shot. They may just slowly get killed off by fire, but we also might not go against fire. This is another one of those where I'm just kind of like boundary testing, right? Is it viable? I may miss this one. I may. Yeah, I did. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal when you miss, like I've been saying, right? You just pay 430 gold. We have 20k. So real quick, I'll finish the pros and cons of this though. Pros of the emergency combo is it's really hard to mess up, and the cons are that it's really expensive. It's 120 gold when you upgrade it. It is bombs. So they will never really reach a point where they all shoot, like where they stagger their shots, basically. We could go banners here. Yeah, you know what? I should go banners here. That's fine. I was like, earlier I was like, do I really want to go banners? Yeah, I should. It's gonna be good. I could make like a pros and cons list of every infinite in this game, which could be fun. Do a little like table. Here's what's good about the steel infinite. Here's what's bad about the steel infinite. Here's what's good about the emergency infinite. Here's what's bad about it. It'd be fun. I've got like all of these non-video based resources that I should make. Like I should take the chart that I have sitting next to me for the events and put that somewhere, probably on Steam like was requested. However, I'm very lazy and I just want to tactician. Sure. And I'm just lazy. That's all there is to it. Yeah, taking banner, I was basically taking this run from a oh do we win this to a oh we win this. That's where we're at right now. I was like, yeah, oh do we win this, and now it's like, yeah, we win this for sure. But yeah, maybe after this I'll put that event guide on Steam, and I will finally, after all of these years, be done. The fucking boss chests have been pretty worthless for me, actually, crazy enough. But yeah, like the brief outline of infinites is that essentially steel is good until but it has the possibility of getting fucked up, and when you fuck it up, like, you'll probably lose. You can't redraw if you make a mistake. Emergency is really hard to mess up and is no big deal if you mess it up, but the downside is that it's very expensive. Forge and assistance are both you can't, like, they're good, but they're easy, like they're really easy to mess up, and if you mess them up sometimes it'll cost you a lot. Right, like if you mess up a Forge Infinite, you are gonna struggle a lot to get it back going, especially if you were relying on the Forge Infinite to upgrade the Forge itself. Yeah, so you can see where we're at here now. Yeah, this is where we're at on this run. A pretty good looking win, if you ask me. Breed, I mean, shit, dude, triple restaurant plus breed plus tax office, right? And just utilizing my hero ability. And we're just cruising. Gather, there's no reason for me to hold on to this card. Maybe I'll organize my, here's what thoughts on infinites at some point. We also, the other thing about this run is we got very lucky. We did not face fire arrows in our first our first 7 waves. I believe it's, you see your first one on wave 22, and I think you see your second one on wave 20, I think it's 24, maybe 25. And then you see the last one on wave 27, or maybe 26. One of the two. What do I mean by the ones? You see the enemy types you face. Is what I'm trying to say. 1632, 1835. Let's get to 35 over here. Oh wait. You get 7. I need more banners. You know, I'm not gonna have enough population for this. We're just gonna take it easy and watch. We got him. We got him. 150 gold. Who, buddy? Then we throw in a mortar rat. 1 mortar rat lands, kills all the guards, and this one goes straight to hell. Yeah, no. No, we had a pretty good one here. I like seeing the banner rat do the little animation and just like covers your units like that. Look at that. That's silly. I wonder how broken you can make that look. This is the part where I'm like, man, I almost want to have a speed up button. Dude, also, it is pouring rain outside. Who, buddy? You hear that? Let me open the window. Let's see if it comes through. Ooh, yeah, it's looking like a bad storm out there. Storm's rolling in. I don't even see this treasure chest. Sorry, this is the part of the run where nothing's happening. My main goal now is to see if I can get this run to another sub 30, which this one might be my fastest run of all time. We're at 27 minutes here, and I think the desert is the place you can have your fastest run in terms of real time. Because the waves, I think, are a little shorter? I don't know. I could be wrong. Oh, also my guardians are dead on this. I didn't even notice. Is he looking at the rain? So yeah, another infinite in your toolkit. And you may be like, oh man, infinites, they're so boring, right? I don't know how people feel about them generally. But I think that they're the best way to go about finding yourself some early wins. These are very, very powerful tools that you can utilize to find yourself in a much stronger position where you can play out 189 population of units without any actual economy cards and find yourself winning in like 29 minutes on hard, right? But yeah. Pretty good run, all in all, if I do say so myself. Solid. I feel like I'm getting... Now that basically the secret to me winning these runs more consistently is literally just reining it in on the first 5 waves. Just take it easy. Just kind of take it easy. You take it easy on the first 5 waves, you find yourself a strong plan from the mid to late game, and you hope you don't take the plague event, basically, is my strategy here. But hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave me a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Also, just taking a look at the time bonus here, make a mental note. 20-minute playtime, 190-point time bonus. I don't know what that means. Alright, have a good one.